hospital room, a machine is quietly recording a man's brain as he dies. His heart has just stopped. No blood is moving. No oxygen is arriving. There is no reason left for anything to happen in there at all. And for 30 seconds, it lights up. The same electrical signature the brain makes when you are wide awake, remembering your whole life. He is not alone. Across the world, people who have gone to the very edge of death and come back describe almost the same journey. A tunnel, a blinding light, a peace so complete they were angry to be pulled back. Different countries, different centuries, different gods, and somehow the same story. So this is the question this video is really about. At the exact moment the brain should be going dark, why does it all look the same? And that final surge of light in a dying man's head, is it a dream the brain is telling itself? Or is it something leaving? Start with what is not in dispute. Near-death experiences are real, not real as proof of anything. Real as reports. They happen constantly. When doctors carefully interview people who survived a cardiac arrest, somewhere between 10 and 20 out of every 100 describe one. That is millions of people alive today. For a long time, these were just ghost stories. Then, in 1983, a psychiatrist named Bruce Grayson did something useful with them. He built a scale, 16 plain questions, and started scoring the experiences like data. And what fell out of the data surprised everyone. How often the very same elements came back. There was a feeling of deep peace, a sense of floating, of watching your own body from above, a tunnel or a rushing darkness, a brilliant light at the end of it, a review of your entire life playing at once, and a border, a line you somehow knew that if you crossed, you would not come back. The person changes, the details change, but that skeleton barely moves, and a pattern that's stable tells you something important. Whatever this is, it is not random noise. It is the brain, or the mind, doing something specific. There was just one problem with that idea. For 100 years, we were certain there was nothing left in there to do it with. Here was the assumption. When the heart stops, the brain is starved of blood within seconds. The electrical trace, the EEG, goes flat, and flat meant off meant gone. That made near-death experiences a genuine paradox. How do you have a vivid, structured, unforgettable experience on an organ that has switched off? Then the assumption cracked. In 2013, a neuroscientist at the University of Michigan, Jimmo Borjigin, was recording the brains of rats at the moment their hearts were stopped. Their brains did not simply fade out. For about 30 seconds they erupted, a surge of high-frequency gamma waves, the fast rhythm your brain runs when it is most intensely awake, and it climbed higher than in normal waking life. For half a minute, a dying brain looked more conscious than a living one. That was a rat. But in 2022, something happened that no one planned. An 87-year-old man in Canada was having his brainwaves recorded for epilepsy when he suffered a heart attack and died. Right there, mid-scan, by pure accident, it was the first time in history we ever recorded a human brain in the actual act of dying. And in the 30 seconds around his heart falling silent, his brain did what the rats did. Gamma waves, surging, in the exact patterns your brain uses to retrieve memories and to dream. As if, the lead researcher said, it were playing back a life. So maybe near-death experiences were never a paradox. Maybe they simply are that surge, the last extraordinary thing a brain does before the lights finally go out. In 2023, Borjigin's team went further. They took 4 patients who were dying, comatose, being removed from life support, with the EEG caps still on their heads. As the machines were switched off, 2 of the 4 brains did it again. A surge of gamma, and not scattered anywhere. It fired in one place, the spot at the back of the head where the temporal, parietal and occipital lobes all meet. Neuroscientists half-jokingly call it the hot zone for consciousness. Damage it and people stop dreaming. Stimulate it with a probe and people feel themselves float out of their own bodies. This is the precise part of the brain you would use to build a near-death experience. And it was roaring to life at the exact moment of death. Now put the whole mechanical story together, and it is genuinely powerful. The oxygen drops. The eye loses vision from the edges inward, closing to a tunnel. The visual cortex misfires into light. The hot zone throws your sense of self clean out of your body. And a flood of brain chemicals, the same serotonin system that psychedelics like DMT hijack, paints every second of it in overwhelming sacred meaning. It is, in a real sense, the ultimate trip, run by a brain fighting to survive. And the strongest proof that oxygen loss alone can do all of this doesn't come from a hospital at all. It comes from a centrifuge. In the 1990s, an Air Force researcher named James Winery spun fighter pilots in a giant arm until the blood drained from their heads and they blacked out. No dying involved, just a brain, briefly starved of blood. And the pilots came back describing tunnels of light, floating, beautiful, floating euphoria. Some saw dead relatives, some were irritated at being woken up. Starve any brain of blood, and you can order the entire near-death menu a la carte. That is a very hard fact for anyone who believes the experience requires a soul, but this is exactly where honest science has to stop and admit 2 things still do not fit. The first is timing. When, precisely, does the experience happen? During the flatline itself, or during the messy reboot as blood comes flooding back? Most of the time we simply cannot tell, and a confused, rebooting brain should generate chaos. Not the calm, lucid, in-order stories people actually report. The second is a card on a shelf. For 20 years, in a study called AWARE, researchers placed images on high shelves in emergency rooms, visible only from up near the ceiling. The bet was simple. If people truly float out of their bodies, then sooner or later, one of them reads a card. In the latest results, in 2023, across 25 hospitals and hundreds of cardiac arrests, the number who correctly read a hidden card is still exactly 0, which sounds like a clean win for the skeptics, until you read the same study's other finding. Those same patients' brains were spiking with near normal activity up to a full hour into CPR, long after they should have been blank. The tidy story keeps refusing to stay tidy. So where does that leave us, honestly? Some of this is now solid ground. The dying brain is not a light switch. It does not simply turn off. In its final seconds, it can surge, powerfully, in exactly the regions that would paint a vision. Much of the near-death experience almost certainly lives right there, in that last electrical storm. What stays open is smaller, and much harder. We can measure the storm. We cannot yet get inside it. Every brain we have ever caught surging belonged to someone who did not come back to tell us whether the lights were truly on, whether that gamma was an experience or just the machine's final noise, with no one left inside to witness it. Is that surge a brain generating one last, kind dream to comfort itself in the dark? Or is it the sound of a mind for 30 seconds, briefly outrunning the body it is tied to? The honest answer today is that we do not know. The measurements are real. The meaning is still yours to weigh. And that is where I will leave it. And if there is a mystery you would love to see untangled, tell me. Until the next one.